the last remaining market for the lumber industry is starting to deteriorate, and that was the um, remodeling DIY project market. Obviously, new home building is still up, but a lot of the home remodeling has been done. People that have to stay in their house because of pandemic or because of interest rates or because of the economy have done pretty much all they're going to do on their homes. And now that the economy is deteriorating even further and interest rates are even higher, there is much less activity in home improvement that's starting to affect lumber yards. One of our offices we have is in Oregon and the Oregon coast. There have been 3 lumber yards and lumber production companies that have shut down in the last 90 days. Several hundred jobs have been lost. We're seeing it in the Pacific Northwest, even as far north as Vancouver, BC. Even in Pennsylvania, some of the hardwood yards are starting to cut back. So what's going to happen in the future? We're already starting to see more and more of the economic impact on lumber and even construction. Sure, there is still a backlog of new homes to be built. However, the demand is starting to fall off because of interest rates. When interest rates were, 3 or 4%, obviously a big boom. Even when it went up to 5 or 6, there was still a demand for people wanting to buy homes. Now that the price point has been elevated because of lumber cost and labor cost, interest rates are now almost 8%, 7.5 to 8. Well, that's going to price a lot of people out of the market. And you can still build some new homes if you can keep them in the 400 to 500 range. But it's very difficult in many markets to build for that much money. Look, a $500,000 house at 7.5, 7.8%, that's almost $4,000 a month for a mortgage payment. By the time you figure tax, insurance in some markets, you could be almost $6,000 a month. At least 5, right? So there are people that can spend $60,000 a year on their home, but that market's a lot smaller than when homes could sell for $250. You could get a 4% mortgage and have a house for a couple thousand a month, $1,800 a month, right? It's more than double. This has had a severe impact on the lumber industry, on even as far down the pipeline as the home improvement chains are starting to have weakness. So, what are you seeing in your market? What do you think is going to happen? What's the labor market like in your area for contractors, for tradesmen? In most markets, specialized trades like electrical and plumbing are still busy. They're backed up. But what about framing, insulation, roofing? What's happening in your area with those trades? And is there any change to the lumber prices? Lumber prices did come down from their peaks a few years ago, but they're still pretty high. We're still seeing, 4x8 OSB, in some markets $50 for 3/4. We're also seeing labor rates still high, $30, $40 an hour for, relatively skilled trades. That's having an effect on people doing upgrades to their home. And it's taking the volume down a bit, which is going to even have more impact on the market and more impact on the percentage of home buyers and homeowners that can actually get a house.